All right. Thank you guys for doing that. I see most of you finished that, so thank you for that. We're super excited to have everybody on tonight, and thanks for giving us your Tuesday evening here. Goal is to keep it, about an hour. I love all the questions that you guys submitted, so thanks for doing that too. There was a lot, so that's a good thing. That's a good problem. So thanks for doing that. First thing, we're just going to kind of introduce the coaching staff, just so you know who you're talking with, and give you a brief introduction. I'm sure we're going to have a few more. I know there's some that are waiting to get in right now. Let me just admit them, and we'll get going. Oops. So brief, first just intro. Obviously, my name is Coach Rouse. I'm the head coach here at Westcliff University. This will be my second year here. This will be, if this season wasn't a COVID season, this would have been my 19th season as a head coach. I know what you're thinking. I look super young, right? Yeah. How is this my 19th year? But no, I'm getting pretty old. So, so this is my 19th season, a lot of which has been in Southern California. I know the Southern California area really well, but super excited with what we're doing here at Westcliff. Happy to be here in Irvine, and at the level that we're at. It's been a great ride so far, and we're just looking forward to what comes next here at Westcliff, and hopefully you guys are a part of it. And then I'll let the other coaches introduce themselves here.
Thank you, Coach. My name is Coach Casey Clockether. Everyone knows me as Coach K. This is also my second season. Coach Rouse and I've been on this ride together since 2 years ago. So we're excited to keep going. We're a very young university, and we're so excited to have everybody here. I graduated from Stony Brook University in New York, and after I graduated, I started coaching right away. So this would have been my 10th season coaching, and my advice to everyone here, just get the most out of everything that you can. So there's no such thing as a dumb question. Feel free to ask anything, because someone's always asking the same or thinking the same as you. So feel free to ask anything you want. Thanks for being here.
I guess I'll go next. Hey guys, I'm Kiera Colston. I'm from Maryland. I went to Bowie State University. This would have been my first year coaching if COVID didn't mess me up. I'm really excited to meet you guys. I'm glad you guys all joined us. You guys are going to learn a lot. I love the school. I love my coaching staff. So let's make the best out of this meeting.
Awesome. Thank you, coaches. And then Coach Mary, she actually is on her way home from a basketball thing. So I'm going to just talk about Mary really quick, and she'll be jumping on here in a few minutes anyway. But Coach Mary actually played for us last year. And we're just super excited that she's joining us on the coaching staff. She was our captain last year, our starting point guard. She also won an award last year, the Warrior Award, at the end of the year. And that was actually throughout all athletics, not just the basketball program. So that was pretty awesome. Just a great student of the game. She's going to be a great asset to the program and the coaching staff. So we're super excited to have her. And then same with Simone Hall. She's the one on the bottom left. Simone also played for us last year, and she'll be GAing for us this year. Again, just another great asset. She comes from Missouri. And I forgot to mention, Coach Mary is actually local right here, Huntington Beach. So we're very well represented, and we'll talk about that with recruiting later. A lot of states are here with us at Westcliff, but super excited with the coaching staff we have. There's actually two others that can't join us tonight. So we have a full coaching staff of 7 people, which is great, which is actually unusual at the NEI level. Usually you got maybe 2 coaches and that's about it. So definitely happy with what we have here. And like all the coaches said, we're just excited to move in this direction with you guys and hopefully answer all your questions. But so this next one, we got a lot of general questions, which are great, because we like to start off with that anyway, just kind of get you more information about the university as it is. So I'll just kind of give you a brief intro. The university was founded in 1993, so it's been around for quite a while. The athletics, like Coach K mentioned, is young. They didn't start athletics right away. which is probably a good decision. I mean, it takes time, and it's good that they did, because once we did start it, we were ready and prepared to make sure we did it right. So university's been around a lot. We're actually represented in 87 countries as far as students and student athletes. Like I said, we're very very well rounded as far as states, countries, and all that with the students that we have here at Westcliff. But I'll answer one of the first questions. And again, appreciate you guys submitting all these questions, because there was a lot. And, like Coach K said, there's not a dumb question in this recruiting process. And you'll learn as we move forward. We're very transparent with the information we give you. Like, we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to tell you exactly what Westcliff's about. And, we hope that it works in what you're looking for your college experience. So first question I got on the general questions is, are there any updates on being able to visit the school? So yeah, that's a great question, because obviously, as you guys know, we've already talked about it. This is a COVID situation, especially in California. We're still in the purple tier. So to answer the question, I guess in short, we can do visits. They're just not really official visits. For example, we have one coming up in two weekends from now. So we're still hosting you guys and kind of having you come tour. It's just not exactly what it would have been without COVID. So I hope that answers that question. I mean, we wish we could give you the full tour at this point. Usually we invite you into practice. We get you into a workout. You get to go to lunch with the coaches. We have a restaurant on campus that we'll talk about later. We usually do all of that. So right now that's a little, not so much happening. It's not the full thing, but you can still absolutely come out this way and take a smaller tour. And then this next question, I'll pass it off to Coach K. Just says, what type of basketball player are you guys looking for?
Thanks, Coach. We love getting players who handle academics first. That's the first thing we'll look at. If coaches reach out to us, or if any player emails us, contacts us, we're going to ask what their GPA is. Might not be directly to you, but might be to your coach. What kind of character are you? Are you the one that's doing everything they need to in the classroom and on the court, whether it's, your study hall hours you're completing, if you're on time to workouts, on time to your class. So it's just overall a great student first, and then we'll ask for transcripts, and then we're looking at the little things that you're doing on the court. Nothing impresses us more when someone's diving for the loose ball, setting hard screens on their opponents, getting somebody open, because we can always work with skills, right? So we're just seeing work ethic is something that stands out to us for sure. We love to teach, so we know we're able to teach in every aspect of the game, but what are you bringing to the table that's not necessarily like heart, work ethic? Like, we can't coach those, right? So that's what we look for when we talk to recruits.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Coach K. And we'll open this up at the end so you can ask like follow-up questions. So just if in case you're wondering, we'll do that at the end. But and then another question is, it says, do you recruit players from across the state? So yeah, we like Coach K mentioned, I mean, we're looking for players with that fill those characteristics that she mentioned, and we don't care where you're from. Currently we are very well-rounded. Like I said, we have a New Yorker, we have somebody we're recruiting from Canada. We have, our other GA Miley is from the Caribbean. We have people from Illinois, Chicago, Texas, Florida, like Coach Kara said, from Maryland. So we're very open. We love bringing people out from a lot of different places because, it brings a wide variety. For you athletes, it's a great way to learn and meet new people from different parts of the country and the world, for that matter. We love having that diversity, and it's just great for everybody, us coaches, the players. So yes, to answer that question, we are very open to all of that. And we currently, you can look at our roster, on the website, and you'll see there's a lot from out of state. And it's a great question though, just so you know the answer to that. But and then the next one kind of follow up to that. Well, kind of, but it more ties in with that first question. It says, when do you plan to get back on campus? So it's just, I wish I knew that answer, because all of us are anxious to, and obviously our players are kind of anxious to do that. Fortunately, our players can work out right now and do those things. It's just classes aren't in person. So fortunately for us, it hasn't hurt our GPA much. We're still doing a great job in the classroom, which is, our biggest priority. But really, it just depends on the state. If we go to red tier, you guys that live in any state for that matter, I'm sure you're well aware of those tiers nowadays. The purple, red, orange, whatever it is. So we're still in purple in Orange County. So once we go to red, then that gives us the opportunity to potentially go back in person. So I know that's not a direct question, and gosh, like I said, I wish I knew the answer to that right now, because that would be nice to know. But that's kind of where we're at this point. And then I'll open this one up to the coaches that want to answer this one. And it says, what are the next steps in the recruiting process with your program?
Next steps for our recruiting program. I just like to get to know you a little bit more. So after this, maybe send us email, text, and we'll give you guys all our information. And then we'll get to know each other a little bit, see what you want to major in. And then also we ask for game film. So I personally, and I know some of the coaches might like highlight films. I mean, that's all cool, but I like to see actual footage and raw footage. I'd like to see what you're doing off ball. I like to see your defensive tenacity. A lot of times people send us highlights. It's all making layups and shooting threes, but I'll ask for that. And then maybe a game schedule if you're playing right now, but that would be the next step. And then if everything works out both ways, then we will have a one-on-one meeting and give you guys a more thorough presentation. And then we'll go from there as offers are concerned, LOIs, and then hopefully a recruit visit on campus. But I guess we'll play that by year, depending on what Irvine will allow us to do. Anybody else want to add on to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. And honestly, we welcome, please send us links if you are playing games, because we miss basketball. Fortunately, we were given the ability to go on Friday to go watch some live basketball, thanks to Phil. Like, that was great, because I mean, I was trying to think about it. I don't think I've really seen much live basketball since we played our last game last season, and that's not okay. So if you have any live links and you're playing, please send it to us. And at the end of this presentation, you'll have all of our contact list, so you can email it to us. I know most of you probably have mine already, but yeah, send us those links, because we'll happily watch that. And then just to add one more thing, because this will tie into the next question, is, make sure you're filling out your FAFSA, make sure that's done. I know 2022s, you're a little early on that, but just make sure you're on top of that, because that's one of the biggest steps that you'll do once you apply. And the financial piece is obviously one of the most, it's important. Fortunately, and we'll talk about this a little later, fortunately, we're the second cheapest private university in the state of California. So we're actually really cheap as it is, but financial aid is great, and our goal is to try and get it to where you're not taking out student loans if we can, which will actually lead me to that next question that somebody posted, which was, are academic and athletic scholarships offered, and what are some of the things that they offer? So we offer both. Fortunately, we are a private school, so we're allowed to offer all the way up to full ride scholarships, to partial scholarships, to minimal scholar, whatever that looks like. And then academic scholarships are given out to pretty much anybody above a 3.0. You have to apply for it, but so far, everybody that we've brought in that's been above a 3.0 that applied for it did receive it, the academic scholarship, that is. So it's doable, but again, it just goes back to what Coach K mentioned about what we're looking for is, student first, so it's definitely doable. And we also accept all outside scholarships. So if you have, I've talked to some recruits, their high school has scholarships you can apply for through your school district. We take all of those. So if you get accepted for one locally in your community, you can submit those. And then another thing that is unique to us is we don't do out-of-state tuition. So if you're not from California, you still get the same tuition rate as those that are living in California. So that's kind of nice because most schools have different tuition rates if you're not a current resident of that state. So that part's another perk to that as well. But long-winded answer to that question, but any other coaches want to add anything on that one?
I believe you summed that up really nice, Coach.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna go, there's one more in the general questions and then we'll move on to the next category so we can kind of get you guys going. But where was it? Oh yeah, the last one was, how many breaks do you get during the year as an athlete? So, we work hard and we're gonna put you in position to where we can develop you and get you where you need to be as far as your potential goes. But we also understand the importance of breaks, So what we do in a normal year, because this isn't a normal year, but in a normal year, when we finish, hopefully in March, because if we're playing in March, that means we made the national tournament. So if we're playing in March, we normally give 3 to 4 weeks off after that, just because your body's, if you play into March, you're playing 30 games, 35 games, it's a lot. And traveling, we travel a lot to different states to play. So it's a lot on your body. So we always give between 3 and 4 weeks off after, and then we'll usually start spring workouts after spring break, just to kind of get you back into the swing of things a little bit before we send you home for the summer. And then that's your summer break. So our semester ends late May, and then we allow all of our players to go home from that point. And usually you get all of June and July. We say off, you get to go home, but we send you some summer workouts that you can do at home at that point. And then you're back here, usually the second week of August. We start our fall workouts. But the biggest break that we like to do is the Christmas break, because, I'm one that believes family time is super important. So usually in December, I get to control the schedule, which is nice. Obviously I can't control our conference schedule, but I control our non-conference schedule. And usually we try and give you between 8 to 10 days off at Christmas, and that goes with, we recruit a lot of people out of state. So that way they can fly home and it's not, okay, I flew home on a Friday and I got to be back on Sunday night. We try and give you that family time so that you can come back refreshed and start the conference. Because usually our conference will start second week of January in a normal season. So, you come back usually around the new year, and then we start practice again to prep for our conference schedule. So hopefully that answers that. Again, we do enjoy having that as a perk, because you do need that family time and you need that break. So coaches, did you want to add anything on the general side, or should I move to the next one?
I'm good on my end, Coach.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so next one is housing. Going to answer some housing questions, and I'll pass some of these questions off too. But so the first let me just give you a general thing. So we have housing, we just don't have typical dorms, which, in my opinion, I lived in dorms. I know Coach Kira lived in dorms. Coach K lived in dorms. They're not fun. I mean, it's a great experience, but you got the communal bathrooms usually in most places. In our case, it is off-campus housing, but it's through the university. So you basically get apartment living under the university umbrella, to where, you get a nice apartment, and Coach K will hit on some of those points here in a minute. But just to give you that kind of an update, because we are unique in that fact that we have housing, but it's not dorms. So I'll let Coach K answer that first question. And the one we'll go to is, does the team live together? Does the team live all together in those off-campus apartments? So are the teammates all together?
Thank you, Coach. Yes, majority of our girls all live together. They love it. There's usually 2 to a room, but if you want to have your own room, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Generally, there's 2 bedrooms and 1 loft and 2 baths. So you guys can have, you're usually only just sharing one with 1 or 2 other people with a bathroom, right? So when I was in college, I had to share the whole floor um, filled with 30 something girls, and we're in and out of the restroom. But when we got into the apartments, I was still sharing with 5. So I always tell our girls they're very lucky and they're spoiled living in Irvine and having their own apartments. If you guys want to look up the apartments the girls are currently living at, write this down. It's called the Avalon Apartments. It's about a 5-minute walk. You can just literally, it's just across the street. And then Woodbridge is a little bit further. If you have a car, that's more, I would live in Woodbridge Apartments. And Avalon, if you don't have a car, it's walking distance. You could have a bike. I mean, the weather's always nice most of the time, 99% of the time in Irvine. So, and some of the girls that don't have cars, we partner them with their teammate that does have a car, so they can make it to practice, whatever games, class. So we do a good job, I think, of partnering them up. It comes with laundry facilities in Avalon. The washer and dryer is actually in the apartment. There's swimming pools, barbecue pits, and it's kind of tough this year with the COVID. They weren't really able to enjoy all the amenities, right? So, but all of this is provided. Business centers with computers, scanners, printers, they're open 24/7. If you need to print something out for schoolwork, that's available to you. There's fitness centers, street parking, and community centers, just such as the game rooms in Avalon. I lived in one of the houses last year. It was in San Remo. It's still close by. I would recommend that as well if you guys want to write that down. San Remo is a nice place to live, because just across the street you have Albertsons, you have a lot of grocery stores, you have Chili's. If you don't feel like cooking, you can just walk across the street, but everything there is for you. You have a kitchen that you can use as well. Hopefully some of you guys know how to cook, but if you don't, you still have time to learn, because I see a lot of you guys are 22s, and thanks for writing your graduation year and your last name, because I'm jotting it down right here. But I mean, any other housing questions, feel free to ask it towards the end, or you guys could ask now if you'd like.
Yeah, and just to add one piece too, it's very unique. Like I said, it's apartment living with the dorm, I guess, experience, so to speak, meaning you get the apartment and they all come completely fully furnished. So just like in dorms where you really don't have to bring much, same thing goes with here. So, you know, these pictures on the left, the bottom one is Avalon, and the top one is kind of what your living room looks like. Like it comes with the couches, it comes with the TVs, the beds, the refrigerator, all that stuff is yours while you're here. So really all you have to bring is your bedding and just your personal, necessities, of course. So it is kind of nice because in most places, if you rent an apartment, you bring everything, furniture, everything, so in this case, you get the apartment living with all of the, all the nice stuff that has to come out of your pocket, financially. So, and yeah, we'll open this up later too for questions, but yeah, that's pretty much what our housing looks like, and appreciate the coaches picking up. So here we go. On to the main, basketball questions. Obviously, these were the majority of the questions, which makes sense. We are, you are trying to be recruited for basketball. So, we'll link these up, and a lot of us will answer some different ones. But I'll let one of the coaches go first on this one. What are the practices like and the player to coach ratio? I'll let that one be our first question.
I'll go ahead with this one. As an experienced college basketball player, I love our practices to be loud and energized. With COVID, it was a little different because we had to break up our players into groups. So it's like 1 to 7 certain days. And then once we were able to move up, we got to be 1 to 10, and then we were able to scrimmage. We were able to do that. But my main thing in practice, I want all of us to communicate. I need to hear everybody's name. Just energy is everything for us in practice, just because it builds everything up. It helps everybody out. Learning wise, you break down, we give everybody individual work. It's fun. I just would say all our practices are fun, and I enjoy them. I enjoy the girls this year. And if you want to work hard and get better, then that's what we're here for you guys.
Yeah, no, and thanks, coach, because that's perfect. I mean, you hit the point on the head. I mean, we want our practices as energized as possible. Like that's our biggest thing. We don't like to coach effort as coaches. I mean, that's on the player. Like you should already be bringing the effort every day anyway, right? And the enthusiasm. So that's exactly what it looks like. It's normally loud, or we want it to be loud. And the one other thing I'll add to that is pretty much every second minute is accounted for. We don't like wasting time in our practices. Every practice is scheduled and organized. Each coach always has a practice plan in hand, and we go through those, right? We like to respect your time, just like we ask you to respect ours. So if we say practice is 9 to 11, it's 9 to 11. And we're going to get our practice plan done, hopefully all the time. Sometimes we don't finish it, but we're not the type that goes over. We respect that time. So like, well, if we don't finish something on our practice plan, we'll pick it up first thing the next day, right? So, but no, thanks, Coach Care. That was perfect. I mean, hopefully you guys are all energized when you come to practice, because that's a good one. This next one says, is there particular positions needed, and how many open freshman positions in 2022? Any coach want to take that one on?
Yes, I will take it. If you are a freshman and you can ball out, you're doing everything you can in the classroom, why not? Right. So we are junior heavy at the moment, but we also I love having freshmen on the team, just because you see all the growth within the 4 years that you have them. And they learn a lot. It's your job and your responsibility to be a sponge, right? But if you're willing to put in the hard work, you're out rebounding your teammates who might be seniors or juniors, and we see that you're clearly doing everything in your power to be successful and earn your minutes. I mean, that's the thing, you have to earn them, right? It's just so tough because it's hard to answer those questions, because I feel like if you are earning those minutes, we're gonna play you. Just because you're a freshman doesn't matter, right? And so I always enjoy conversations we have with our freshmen, and we like to push them. And when I see them, I don't see you as a freshman. I see you as as basketball player, student athlete. I mean, yeah, you're going to make freshman mistakes, but at the end of the day, you're there to play. And I know that you want to earn those minutes. So show us.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, with this season being different, I mean, we had an incoming freshman ready to play, and potentially get some minutes this year. So, I mean, it's definitely doable. And like Coach K said, yeah, if you can ball out and you are a great student, we don't really limit our recruit numbers. Fortunately, we're in a position where we can do that. We do have 2 teams on campus. We have our main roster and we have our academy team. So, in that aspect, we really just are finding, again, students and student athletes with character that work hard, and you got a chance. I mean, you got a chance to compete. So these next 2 I'll kind of combine, and I'll take these next 2. It was how often are practices and how long are they? And then do players stay for practices during the summer or holiday break? So both are good questions. I'll attack the first one just briefly. Usually our practices are, we vary depending on the time in the season. Like last year, I know there was in the fall, and those first initial practices were going normally like 2.5 hours. First half hour is always fundamentals. We don't lack on the fundamental area. I mean, we make sure that you are well versed in all these small details, the fundamentals. So always, every practice starts with 30 minutes of that, and then we move on with the meat of practice after that. So it just depends, because last year when we got into the heavy part of the season, we were going like an hour and a half, and it just depends on what our bodies look like. Like if we're hurting, we're a little injured after a long, road travel break. Like last year we were gone for, I think it was 8 days. One trip, we were gone for 8 days. So that next week, practice was a little shorter. We were trying to make sure our girls were physically okay after that. So, but that's a good question. We vary them. But yeah, usually between an hour and a half and then 2.5 hours, depending on the time of the season. And then second part of that question, do players usually stay during breaks and winter break to practice? And that, You can. I mean, we really give them the option because, again, going back to my last response, we like when you can have a little break. Family time is good, away time is good. But if girls stay, absolutely. Like, we love our shooting machine, which we're excited to get back to. So in those breaks, we usually do a lot of individual workouts, so we'll get you in, we'll get you a lot of shots in, weight room stuff. And we'll take advantage of that time if you are going to stay. So usually we just leave it up to the player. I mean, especially if we're not holding official practice, we'll give you that option. Like, hey, yeah, if you're going to stay, we'll put you to work. If you're not, go enjoy your family time. So, yeah, good questions. Coaches, did you want to add anything to those two at all?
I'll add something. Just saying, if you wanted to get the extra work in, you can get the extra work in. I have multiple girls text me after practices saying, "Hey, I want to get some more shots up. Hey, I want to do some more lifting. I want to work out. I want to get stronger." They just text me. I'm usually available. Practice is only 2 hours, but you can definitely get more shots up. Just let me know. Well, when you do decide to get here, let me know, just like my girls do, and we can work out. It's all on you guys. What you guys want to do is what we are willing to help you with.
Perfect. No, and that's exactly right. And, that's why we give you all of our contact, because we want you to text us those things, so we can do that. I'm going to let Coach K take this next one because I love talking about this, and I could literally, sometimes I go long-winded and I don't want to do that. So Coach K, what kind of offense and defense do we run? And are we offense or defensive minded program? So just so that I don't talk for 30 minutes on this one, go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, but we love defense. I mean, offense is great, but we try, when we brought our girls in this year, we're all about fundamentals. We just want to make sure fundamentals, footwork, our defense, our concepts on the defensive side. I feel like we brought in a team that was going to be fast. So we wanted to press, we wanted a fast break, first available shot, layup we want to go for, but the best available shot is what we want to go for, and then we'll run a set. So we're very talented. We were so bummed that we didn't play this year. I think we can make a run for it, win our conference, and even though it's just our third year being together. But next year we're thrilled to just put everything together. But yes, defense. You got to be defensive oriented if you want to play for us. Diving for the loose ball, being feisty, and I see a couple of girls out here that I've been chatting with. Kate, I see you. Sophia, I see you. And just watching you guys this past weekend got me so excited. But the tenacity on the defensive end gets us going on and fuels us on the offensive side.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach, for keeping that. Yeah, that was good. That was perfect, to the point. And that actually follows up with the next question is, does your team focus more on looking to transition or set up in the half court? And I'll keep that short. I mean, we want to do both. Like Coach K mentioned, our tempo, we love high tempo basketball. She mentioned we like to press when we can. We love to run, right? And the example I always use is there's been a couple NCAA tournaments, March Madness, that I've watched in the past, which is why we try and coach like this now. I've seen so many teams that focus only on running and transition, and they have no idea how to be patient in the half court, that once you come up to a team that can play defense really well, they struggle. North Carolina's one. I remember them losing a game they probably shouldn't have lost a few years back because they couldn't really score in the half court set, and that defense did a great job. So just to kind of answer that, yeah, we love both. We love to make sure we're well versed in how to be patient in the half court if we have to, because we play a very tough schedule. I mean, the video here you see is Long Beach State. Last year we played 6 Division I teams, and this next year is looking the same. We already have 3 that has confirmed that will play this next season. And, against D1 teams, we're not going to run like we normally can run. I mean, they're Division I for a reason, so we have to be able to be patient and sit back and be able to work for a good shot in the half court too. So we really try and make sure that our players are well versed in both areas of that. But don't get me wrong, I love scoring quick. So, we're definitely looking for that first. So, and then one more question on the basketball front is, where was it? Oh, there it is. And any coach that wants to speak up on this is great, but it says, what would nutritional and strength training programs look like?
We actually have a strength and conditioning coach. His name is Coach Set. He actually worked with a couple of our girls today when we had our weight rooms open up. So we'll be with him. More so preseason, we'll be at the beach. We do agilities on the beach with him. We will go hard off season, maintenance during season, and then postseason when we're in our conference play, it'll be just a little bit of weights here and there, but nothing too crazy, just because we have to be smart with our bodies. Nutrition wise, Emily Burns, she's our head athletic trainer, and she could put a packet together for us. And we also give our girls, nutrition value, whether it's what to eat before a game, how many hours you need to eat before a game, after a game, the night before, right? We'll give them tips here and there, and we've played college basketball too. I think we've got it nailed down to what we need to eat. But post game meals we'll have with our team after games, pre-game, before we leave, we'll eat on campus, or we'll get something real quick on the before we head out to the hotel. So it's just we know the nutrition and training is very important, and hours of sleep as well. So if you are conditioned and really disciplined with your body, you can do pretty much anything on the court. So we emphasize that to our players, just the nutrition part and the training, just taking care of your body. Less injuries, the better. You see a lot of teams where the most healthy goes a long way in the tournament.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. And again, we'll open up questions at the end too if you didn't get a certain answer. I think we hit all the basketball ones though at that point. So this next one is academic questions, which there was some on there for that. You can take a look at some of the bullet points that we posted too, because we are a little different and unique in our ways of how we run our academic classes. One big thing is our class size is super small. You get a lot of interaction with your professors, which especially for incoming freshmen, that's big. It's new. It's a little bit more advanced than what you're used to in your high school courses. So it's nice that you get that interaction. I remember some of my first freshman classes, a long time ago. I was in classes that are like 50 people in an auditorium, so it's a lot different than that. As you can see, the one picture in the top left, that's some of the classes. I see 2, 4, 6, 8 people on a professor, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes you might have 13 or 14, but that's a lot, so it's definitely a key, especially like I said, for incoming freshmen, when sometimes you might need that extra attention on that. And then the other thing that's unique about us is we only attend class twice a week. So because we're a hybrid school, so even without COVID, you're still a hybrid school. So it's great for athletes because, as we talked about, we travel a lot. So the fact that you travel and you don't miss classes because of that is great, because that's a big part of academic success, is if you can be present at every class. So that's another big one. And then what we do is our classes are also broke down into 2 8-week sessions. So we're semester school, but in that 16-week semester, you have 2 sessions of 8 weeks, which is kind of nice, because, being honest, there was, a few classes that I really wasn't looking forward to in college, and, you're sitting in there for 16 weeks, in this case, it's 8, so you can kind of get those out of the way. And it also gives you the opportunity to graduate early. We have one girl right now. She's technically, eligibility wise, she's a junior, but she'll be graduating a year early, just because, you do have the ability to do that with our classes being a little bit shorter in that, you can get more classes in a semester than you normally would somewhere else. So that's great. And then the last thing on that is, class selection. I remember a lot of times where I couldn't get a class, and I'm sure other coaches had similar problems at their school. Like, you can't get a class because it's full. That never happens here because of the small class sizes. So you really do graduate on time. And it's very rare, if ever, does it happen to where you don't graduate on time, unless, you know, you're not doing your job in the classroom, of course. But we know all of you guys are stellar students, right? So that won't be a thing, all right? One of the main question is what kind of student are you looking for to meet Westcliffe's academic goals? So it's a great question. And really we're pretty open, honest, and blunt with that. We rarely, if ever, recruit anybody that doesn't come in with a 3.0 or higher, right? Just because we take academics seriously. And, you know, we know that, especially coming from an incoming freshman, it is going to be a learning curve. I mean, that's just, you know, that's how it goes, and it's normal. So with that learning curve, you know, we try not to bring in anybody like in the 2.5 area, because it's going to be difficult to keep you eligible, right? Especially if we're giving you scholarship money, you know, athletic scholarship money. You know, we don't want you to be getting scholarship money and then ineligible because of your grades, right? Because that's just a waste, unfortunately, because you can't play. So usually 3.0 is the minimum. You know, obviously there are some rare situations, it just depends, but definitely keep working on your grades. You know, if you're right there on the borderline, you know, keep doing that, right? Keep working. The next question, and this is perfect to back this up, is do players get academic help or tutors? Yeah, you have academic tutor 6 days a week whenever you want it. I mean, right now, considering COVID, you have to make an appointment. Usually when we're on campus, you can walk in anytime you want. But now you have to actually make, you know, an appointment, which makes sense because of COVID. But yes, you do have tutors. You have writing center that you can use at any point as well, which is very helpful. We actually mandate our players right now to use the writing center for every big assignment. So any paper that you have to write, we make that, you know, we make them do that, just so that you get a better grade. I mean, we pulled stats from the last time we did writing center appointments versus the time we didn't do writing center appointments, and it was almost, in some cases, a full letter grade different, you know. So we make sure that you guys are getting the proper help. And just the last part on that, when we travel, this was going to be implemented this year, which obviously we didn't get to use that this year, but next year, when we travel for longer than 2 days, so if we're gone, you know, on a trip, they're going to send tutors with us, which is really a cool perk. You know, so anytime we're at the hotel or wherever we're going to be, you'll have that tutor available for you for study halls and stuff when we're in the hotel conference room or whatever that looks like. So it's pretty nice that the university's value of academics matches our coaching staffs, because we do take it super seriously in the classroom, and so does the university. So it's nice that they match that with resources available too. So coaches, anybody want to add on those first two?
Yeah, I would like to add on. Sorry guys, I was late today. My name is Coach Mary. Coach Kyle introduced me earlier in the meeting, but I graduated from Westcliff last year, like Coach Kyle said. Got my BA in business administration. Now I'm doing my master's, but everything Coach Kyle said was absolutely 100% correct. Everybody knows, the athletic staff, the coaching staff, administration, everyone knows that you guys are students first. So we are all here to help you guys. The writing center, like he mentioned, study hall, tutors, everything. They're 100% with you to help you guys out. So if you guys have any questions, apologies, just let us know so we can help you guys out.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, and glad to see your face. You know, but and then just to there's a couple more questions we'll throw out, just so we make sure we answer all of you, especially since you submitted them. The academic this is another big one, because, you know, obviously we have a different requirement with the 3.0, but this question says, what are the academic requirements that I would need to meet to get into Westcliff? So that's a little different. If you're at a 2.5 or better, you're looking pretty good to get in. You know, the closer you are to a 2.5, you know, sometimes they'll make you write an essay saying, you know, why you're going to succeed, basically, like how are you going to better your grades moving forward if we accept you, kind of thing. But if you're above it, you got, I mean, I'd say a 99% chance of getting in. Below a 2.5, then it gets a little bit iffy. You know, again, it's just, you know, especially for incoming freshmen, it's just harder, right? The classes are going to be a little harder than you're used to. And if you're coming in already with below a 2.5, you know, it's not going to be as easy, right? And our first goal is for you to graduate, on time, right? So that's a great question, but really it's not hard to get in if you have that GPA. All they really need is your transcripts. You do have to write a personal statement, which is pretty much normal at any university when you apply. But after that, as long as you have the grades, you're looking pretty good. So I think that answers that question. Coaches, if I miss anything on that part, go ahead and shoot it out. But all right, perfect. So we'll go forward, almost done here, and then we'll open it up for you guys. So location, I know some of you are from here local in California and are aware of where Irvine is. Others may have never been here, which is possible. So we like to always put this out here. Fortunately, we are in a great location. I mean, Orange County, and then being 8 to 10 minutes from Orange County beaches is amazing. Our girls do spend a lot of time there. I see a lot of, I still have no clue what TikTok is, but I see a lot of their TikToks at the beach. So they spend a lot of time there. We do a lot of our beach workouts there. The top left picture is Inspiration Point here in Corona Del Mar, about 10 minutes from us, or 10 minutes from campus, excuse me. And that's where we host pretty much the majority of our beach workouts. So, again, some of you may know exactly where we are. So this is kind of something you're used to, which is great. As we mentioned earlier, the weather's usually very solid. I mean, you can pretty much, like Coach K mentioned earlier, walk anywhere because the weather's nice, ride your bike to campus, and it's doable. The other thing we like to bring up too, and, we take advantage of this because my wife and I, we have 2 girls, and it's great that we're in, Irvine is the #1 safest city in the United States. So it literally, based on stats and all that, from crime rates and all that, we were #2 last year, and then this year we're #1. So you are in a great, safe city, which is why we do walk everywhere. And that's why my family and I, we feel safe. We walk a lot of places with our daughters. So, it is nice to feel safe here, especially if you are coming from out of state. Nice to know that you're coming to a city that you're well protected and you don't have to worry about really too much at all. So that's just kind of a brief thing. And if you're a beach person, I mean, you definitely are in the right place. I also coach the surf team. If some of you've gotten my emails, you probably see that in my signature. It says surf also. So it's a great spot to do that as well, which I try and take advantage of that as much as I can. And just to throw it out there, if you do come out here, we'll have to get you on a surfboard. Like, we talk about that. If you want to learn how to surf, we'll figure it out, especially once COVID's done. We can get you out there and, hopefully get you to stand up, right? But I'm going to turn over one of the questions to actually to Coach Mary, because she's been through it as a student, and she lives local, right? So the question was, what is there to do for students like in the area when you don't have practice and you're not, that kind of stuff. So I'll turn that to Mary.
Yeah, like Coach said, there's a bunch of stuff to do. We're located in Irvine, but we're right next to Anaheim. There's Disneyland. There's Angel Stadium. You guys can catch a game. Honda Center. There's a lot of artists that go perform. Just depends on the day, really. The beach is like 10 minutes away. I'm a beach person, so I loved going to the beach and stuff like that. We're right across the street from, I think, the Tustin area. So there's a bunch of food places you guys can go to. It's really just a great time. You guys are welcome to, hopefully you guys can come visit the area and stuff like that if you guys aren't from here, but there's a bunch of stuff to do. So you guys are going to be busy the whole time. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Mary. And then I'm going to actually ask Coach Kiera, because she, as she mentioned, she's from Maryland. So just to give you that perspective from moving out here, from the East Coast, because again, some of you guys aren't from California. So I'll let her kind of speak on that perspective.
So yeah, once again, I'm from Maryland. It's snowing right now over here. It's freezing cold. I kind of do wish I was back in Cali right now. But since COVID happened, I wanted to come spend time with my family just because, COVID's scary right now. So I wanted to hang out. I plan on moving back out there ASAP. But I love the area. I'm not the biggest beach person. I don't know if it's the east side of me. I'm really not big on it. Coach Kyle keeps telling me he's going to teach me how to surf. I don't even know how to swim yet, so I don't know how that's going to be possible. But I do love the area. I can't wait till everything opens up so I can really enjoy all of what Cali has to offer. COVID shutting some things down, it kind of sucks, but I do find my way to my other coaches. I hang out with them and all that kind of stuff. So it's fun. I enjoy it. I love it out there. So can't wait till you guys go over there as well and visit the area.
Awesome. Thanks, coach. And yeah, I mean, yeah, we do unfortunately need to teach you how to swim first, and then we'll do the surfboard. But
Yeah, good luck with that.
yeah, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. But so that's pretty much kind of sums up the location. One of the other questions just talks about what's campus life like. And it's been interesting because unfortunately our brand new campus, which is beautiful, literally opened, coaches, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it opened either the week before quarantine or like 2 weeks after quarantine. And I can't remember which, but it was such a bummer because they opened it with all this great stuff. And then we were all virtual classes. So it is a beautiful campus. Like I mentioned, it has its own restaurant, which the food is fantastic. These coaches will confirm that because we always take recruits to that restaurant. And it's delicious food. There's a coffee shop on campus, plenty of like gaming areas. There's a lot of little spots where you can play ping pong, foosball, watch games. There's flat screen TVs out in the quad area that you can watch sports or watch anything for that matter. But it is a great spot. So unfortunately, our current players, which two of them are on here right now, and I'll introduce them here in a minute, but unfortunately they haven't got to really enjoy that part yet. So hopefully, like Coach Kira mentioned, hopefully things will open up sooner than later so we can actually get on that because it is a beautiful campus. And when you do guys come out here, hopefully for a visit at some point, we'll get to show you just exactly what that looks like. But so yeah, that's the location in a nutshell. I will introduce one of our current senior guards here. Laura, if you're on, if you can just kind of introduce yourself, and just talk like maybe 20 seconds about yourself here.
Hi, my name is Laura Tapia. I am from Mexico and my major is business administration. I play the 1 and the 2.
Nice. And then Jazz, you're up.
My name is Jasmine. I'm a junior and I play guard and I'm from Oakland.
Nice. So Jazz and Laura, thanks for being on. And there was a few questions that were posted that are kind of more towards the players. I mean, I could answer them, but it wouldn't really mean as much, I don't think, because it'll come from you guys instead. But one of the question is, like, what's the day? I know COVID has kind of put a weird strain on that, but the question was, what is a day in the life like for the student athletes? And either one can answer, you're good.
Day in the life. Well, we would wake up probably around 7, go to practice, and then come back home, make breakfast.
Yeah, we will get to practice, get a temperature check. We will get some bands just to get COVID protocols, get all that covered. And hit up practice, work hard, come back, knock out because, practice. And yeah.
And then go to class, obviously. Go to class because we're good students. And, repeat.
There you go. No, thanks for adding the good student part. We're actually doing a Warrior academic challenge right now. And there's 4 teams. And both of these two are one of our highest, both of them have one of the highest GPAs in our program. So they aren't kidding when they go to class because they take care of business in the classroom. So no, great for that. And then another question was, where was that one? It's kind of a similar question to the last one, but what does your week look like and how do you prioritize, you know, part of the question asks, you know, do you work? Do you have a part-time job? That kind of thing. So how do you prioritize everything that you're trying to do is basically the question.
That's a good question. But I like this school because Westcliff kind of has like these sessions. You have 2 sessions in a semester, and they give you like classes. Like I am only taking like 2 classes this week, or 2 classes a week. And it makes my schedule open to like work and practice and other extra things I want to do. And it's really cool because we get the support needed from teachers. And yeah, but always prioritize, the way I prioritize my things is school, basketball. Well, school, family, basketball, and then whatever comes after. But that's how I prioritize.
Yeah, you got a lot of free time because really you only go to class like 2 times a week, sometimes once a week. And also, if you don't like the teachers or anything like that, you can switch it up. They're very flexible with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I forgot to mention what's really cool about Westcliff is that we practice first and then we go to classes. And sometimes we get to go to the beach to practice. And I love beach workouts. And I think that's what's cool and what makes us different from other programs.
Awesome. No, appreciate it, you guys. And then before we open it up for everybody, does anybody want to unmute and ask Jasmine or Laura any other different questions that you want to ask, you know, players instead of coaches? If you do, feel free, unmute really quick and just feel free to ask it, or you can put it in the chat. No worries, everybody's shy. That's
How do
all right.
you describe your relationship with your other teammates, guys?
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Did you hear that, Jazz?
Can you repeat that? You cut out, Coach.
Yeah,
How do
Coach
you
Pierre
describe-
said, how do you describe your relationship with your teammates?
Well, we all love each other here at Westcliff. We kind of are like our own family. So like we'll go out to eat together. We'll take care of each other. We'll have small little, fun gatherings. But so far that I've been here, I love everybody.
Yeah, it's been different from other programs. I've been in so many programs. I'm a little bit older than what you expect, but it's different. We had a connection right away, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and these two actually, live together. So if they say their relationship's good, then it must be because, they spend every day, especially in COVID right now. So they spend a lot of time together. And no, appreciate it, you guys. And again, players, if you want to ask any other questions to them, you can, of course, post it. At this point, we just want to open it up to any follow-up questions that you might have. I'm going to add this page at the end so you can write down some of this stuff. All of our contact for all coaches. And then the people on the left are all the people that you will be kind of in contact with when you apply. So those are all definitely awesome information that you're going to want moving forward. But yeah, let's open it up. We're honestly right at the time I thought we'd be. So open it up. If you want any follow-up questions and you don't want to speak, that's fine. Just hit that chat box and you can type it in if you'd like. That's totally fine. There's a chat coming through. Oh, no worries. Madeline, yeah, no worries on that.
We got a question in the chat.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Peyton asked, what was the selling point that made you choose to go to Westcliff? For me, it was financially affordable. And I like private schools because you get a lot of attention from your teachers. And honestly, what drew me here was the atmosphere and the environment because it's by, the beach and Disneyland. And I also wanted a role model that looked like me. And with Asian American sports, Coach K was that role model for me. So yeah. And she's a great coach, and everyone else. Coach Kyle's a great coach. Coach Key, and all the other Coach Mary, Coach Simone. Yeah, we have a lot of coaches. So yeah.
Yeah, mine was
Jazz.
You know.
mine was Coach K as well. She coached me high school, and I just love like her work ethic. I fell in love with it, and she was like, "Now I'm in a college. Now I'm in a university. I said, okay, I'm going wherever you go," because I knew it was gonna be good, you know.
And what's special about these coaches is they take care of you, even outside of basketball. Like we have our what is it, DQ groups?
Yeah.
We have our little groups, and they check on us regularly to make sure we're okay.
Yeah, and then no, that's awesome. Thank you guys. And I'll answer this one, Malaysia, and I hope I said that correctly. It just says curiosity. How did you get everyone's contact information that we're all interested in basketball? That's a great question. We have our ways. No, I'm just kidding. Fortunately, being at this level that we're at, there's software that college coaches are allowed to use, and that's pretty much the only people that can use it. And it pretty much has a full database all over the world, including international students that we can research and recruit. And if you, the cool part about it for us is if you have any film highlight on any profile that you manage, we have access to that no matter what. So like once we get that, once we find you, we can pull up whether you're on NCSA, whether you're on Be Recruited, field level, any of those sites that some recruits use, we can see all of that. So that's a great question because I'm sure, sometimes you're wondering, but that's exactly how we do it. And, then we that's why we like hosting these things too, because then we can actually see you and answer questions like that instead of, we want to be able to do that as well as watch some of your film and all that. So no, that's a good question. And then Briley says, what was it like coming in for freshman year? So that's a tough one just because, Jasmine came in as a junior, Laura came in as a senior. So, I mean, do you guys want to speak on just what it was like entering when you did enter your freshman year? I know Jazz, you went to the JUCO first. You want to talk about just that freshman transition just briefly?
Yeah. So my transition from high school to JC, I went to junior college, and I wouldn't speak low on junior college at all. I think it's an amazing route and a very developmental route. Coach K herself went to junior college, but my transition from high school to freshman year, it wasn't easy. I mean, because I was the only the only freshman with one other girl and full of sophomores. But I got to be in an atmosphere where I got to look up to girls who are older than me and learn from them. And at a JUCO, they're not just one level. It's like you got Division I girls that are bouncing back, and you got all kinds of levels, and you've got a diversity of views, and you can learn a lot from JUCO. So yeah. That was my transition.
Yeah.
And it's very
yeah. Say that again, Jazz. What was that?
Going to junior college will structure you a lot. Like they'll teach you. They'll go everything from fundamentals to what to expect at a 4-year university.
Yeah, and that's a great point about like talking about having the upperclassmen kind of shadow you and mentor you. I mean, that's a big thing that we try and help happen here with us. COVID has hurt that a little bit, but usually in a normal case, that's normally what happens. And we also try and set you up with upperclassmen right off the bat. A lot of doesn't know this yet, so this is news to you. But one of our new recruits that signed for 2021, Laura will be her mentor. So congratulations on that. But we try and pair everybody up with the most experienced players that we have, because our number one goal is to ease the transition, like Jasmine mentioned, transitioning, and then also get you into where you can learn from some of the best, and try and speed up, I guess, that development process, right? And then secondly is just us coaches, like our goal is to, of course, develop you and help you from the get-go, you know, and that's always our number one goal, is to try and help you develop moving forward. And no, thanks, Jazz, for that, because that was a good point of view. We did have 2 other questions come through, and this is, I'll let the second one go to you girls. I'll answer this first one really quick. It just says, for players whose state is not currently playing, how is that going to affect getting recruited? And that's such a hot topic right now, right? Because especially in California, I mean, nobody's really playing, you know, unless you're on one of those club teams that is willing to travel. You know, I know some traveled to Arizona, Indianapolis a couple months ago, so it depends. But had a great conversation, and I think I see Courtney on here, you know, earlier today about this exact topic. You know, biggest thing, obviously, if you have highlight tape, great. You know, of course, use it. You know, but like I told Courtney earlier, I mean, our first question is, like Coach K mentioned earlier, we're going to say, do you have full game film? You know, can you send that to us? So in the absence of that currently, biggest thing is stay on top of your grades. That's a huge one, because like for us, for example, if you send us a highlight tape and then follow that up with, you know, we see your GPA and it's under a 2.5, let's say, you know, your recruiting profile may go into a different stack, right? So if you're coming in with a great GPA, sell that fact, right? I love getting emails that I don't have to request more information, right? So send me an email that has your unofficial transcripts already in it, you know, that's huge. I know Coach K feels the same way. It's so nice when we get that and it's like, oh, great, we can see her unofficial transcript already. We can see what kind of student she is. And then, you know, another thing that can help you too is, if you're in the position to do this, is, you know, record some of your workouts. You know, I mentioned this earlier, we had a girl that I'm recruiting from Hawaii send, you know, because they're not playing, and if they are, it's very minimal. You know, she sent me a workout that she was doing on her own. You know, send those. Anything you can come up with. The biggest thing that I'll say is keep it short though. Keep it minimal, right? You know, long film, and that's not game film, is a lot, right? So put everything that you want pretty much seen in the first 2 minutes of your highlight tape or of your workout or something like that, right? But it is, you know, it is a very difficult and different time for recruiting. You know, just keep doing, like I said, what you can. If you can play, even if it's like a scrimmage of some type, get it going, film it, you know. And if that's doable, great. If it's not, keep working on those other intangibles, you know, whether it's the classroom work or those individual workouts, and just get those sent to it. And then just be persistent, you know, be persistent. And I think that will help you get ahead of the curve, you know. Don't let your email get lost in the shuffle, right? Try and come up with something that is different. So those unofficial transcripts are big, especially for us, you know. If you can include those, that's a big perk. And then that second question, like I said, I'll gear that towards Jazz and Laura here. It says, what is the team culture like on and off the court? So I'll let you guys address that one.
That's a good question. But we have this thing we call 5 C's. So the culture we try to have is something. Well, the 5 C's embody character, culture, commitment, championships, and community. And I would say West Coast is a very family-like culture. And we all take care of each other, make sure we're doing okay. And we all have a vision and a goal, and that's to win and change the program around. So yeah.
Yeah, we got students from all around the world, so it's pretty multicultural.
Yeah, Lori's from Mexico.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm Cambodian. And then we have teammates from different parts of the states, which is really cool. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, guys. And is any, you know, any coaches want to throw anything out about culture or anything else that we missed, and then players, throw out some other questions if you'd like. If you have to go, of course, don't worry about it, but just want to make sure you get all your questions answered. Okay, so what I'm gonna do really quick is, just for fun, so that we can even see your faces and all that, is I'm gonna take some screenshots with all of you, since we have quite a few of you here. So smile, right? And I'll get you guys in there. So I'm gonna do first page, and then there's actually multiple pages on the Zoom. So I'll do the first one and second one. Awesome. All right. No, I mean, we love having you. I mean, we're super excited for what the future is kind of holding for not only like women's basketball, but just Westcliff in specific. Having you guys all on here is fantastic. I know most of you are West Coast. Most of you are, and we'll be having more of these. We usually do 3. West Coast, Midwest, and then East Coast, all at different times. But we just love seeing your faces. Like I said, it's nice actually getting to interact with everybody. Again, especially in COVID right now. I know we've met some of you in person, which is great. Others, we've spoke to on the phone so far, and others, we look forward to both of those things, hopefully in the near future here. But, we're just excited to keep growing the sport mainly. Just a quick, sidebar. I mean, the first, the first 8 years of my coaching was on the men's side or boys side. And, it was great, and it was a great learning process, but I absolutely love women's sports. I've said this before, and I don't take it lightly. I'll never go back to coaching boys again. I love coaching the women's side of sports. I think you guys, there's some great athletes that sometimes get overlooked, and sometimes we get the short end of the stick. You guys all know, you play at the high school level. I coached at the high school level before. I mean, the boys' game is packed. The girls' game, there's hardly any fans, right? I mean, that's what we're used to. And my goal is to hopefully get that kind of shadow off, because I think women's sports, in my opinion, is more special, right? There's a lot of great things happening. We talk about this all the time. I think, and Coach K and, a lot of you on here are probably huge Kobe Bryant fans, but, we talk about that often because Kobe had a great thing going with growing the women's game, right? With not only with his daughter, but just being such a huge supporter of the WNBA. I know they were huge UConn fans, which I love UConn as well, but, it's just a big thing. And, our goal is to not only give you a great experience at the college level, but just continue to grow the greatness that is the, female sports. I mean, I think there's a lot that we can do and keep doing, and really just kind of keep going to what Kobe was trying to do, and a lot of other people are trying to do with women's sports. And hopefully you guys can be a part of it in some aspect, because I think it's going in a great direction, especially once COVID is off. I think we're going to be taking it in a great direction. So that was just my last little tidbit. Coaches, did you want to add anything before we let everybody go?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I know you guys could be doing other things. There's a couple of recruits from Chicago. Coach Fino, thank you for being here and letting the word out. Met a lot of girls from the Film Showcase. Thank you guys for being here. I always put my shoes or my feet in your shoes, and I was in that process. Coming, like Jazz mentioned, came from a JUCO. I suffered 2 ACL injuries, Achilles. Don't let anything stop you. There's a lot of bumps in the road, obstacles with COVID. Make the best of this situation, right? Right now, we're focusing a lot of our mental skills. It's not just stuff that we do on the court. We'll have meetings. We still see our girls bi-weekly on Wednesdays. We'll check in with them every day. But my advice
to you guys, which I had before, ask all the questions you need to ask. Majors you guys want to major, ask. What do you guys want to do? This is a commitment you're going to make for 4 years, right? So write down. I love writing things down. What do I want out of a university? What do I want to see from coaches? Write that down and see what best fit. I always look out if they have my major. Do you want to be a big school, small school, location, financial situation, and with the style of play of basketball, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be happy. Prioritize yourself. I know a lot of people are talking, hey, this is a better school, but what is it for you? So just take that in. Again, I want to thank you guys. You guys have my number. Add me on Instagram, whatever. I would love to communicate with you, but I'm just seeing you guys all here. I'm so excited. I want to coach. I wish I could coach all of you. But I'm always here for advice. Even if you come to Westcliff or not, we're transparent all the way around, but we would love to just have some kind of communication and hopefully things work out your way. And we meet you halfway and we'll see where it goes. But again, thank you so much for being here. Look forward to talking to you guys in the near future.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Any other coaches want to add anything, or Jazz and Laura want to add anything?
Yeah.
Call
then-
first, Laura.
And then coaches, really quick, if you want to add your social media in the chat, you can, because I know they have our cell and our email, but if you want to add like your social media handles, feel free. Sorry, Jazz, go ahead.
No, it was me. It's my turn.
Oh, sorry, Coach Carrot, go.
Thank you. Now I just want to say thank you for giving us your time. You guys can be doing a lot. I have a puppy as well, so I'm sorry if you hear him barking, but I appreciate you guys. It's been nice seeing your faces. I'll talk to you guys soon. Follow me on Instagram. Talk to you, or you can text me if you need anything. Have a good night.
Just really quick, and pretty straightforward. It is a good program. I've been in so many programs. I play internationally. I play for FIBA. I play in many colleges. Last year I was at Bethesda University, and all I can tell you, it is a good program, and I'm happy.
And my advice when choosing a college to go to or to play at, you want to choose a place that you feel wanted and you feel respected, and the coaches respect you. And it's about, the people there. It's about the people, not the program, not the name. It's about the people. So yeah, because the people make up the program at the end of the day. So,
And lastly, I just want to thank Jazz and Laura for coming along. I sent them a text last night. I always go to them because they're always like, yes, coach, I got you. Made me almost tear up a little bit, but when they were saying a lot of nice things to me, but thank you guys for your time as well. Let's just give them a little round of applause for being with us tonight. So, and I hope I missed you guys so much. Hope we can see each other in our team bonding, hopefully next week.
Yep. No, and thank you, everybody. Again, yeah, thanks, Jazz and Laura, of course. I mean, there's a reason why we ask you here, because we know that you guys are not only amazing athletes, but just great people, so that they can hear that from people that they'll end up respecting if they come to Westcliff. So again, yeah, just appreciate you guys taking, giving us your Tuesday night. And yeah, don't hesitate to communicate with us, whether it's on social media, email, text, whatever. Please communicate. And just to echo what Coach K said, call us for help, even if you don't choose us. That's happened a couple times before. Like, we'll help you throughout the process. We hope you choose us and want to come play for us, but we just want you to be able to experience college athletics. So we hope that happens for you, and just keep working hard. However you can get work in, get it in, right? But other than that, it was a pleasure, and thanks for giving us your time, and enjoy the rest of your week, you guys.
Take care and stay safe, ladies. See you guys.
Bye, you guys.